So, Visage is the scariest experience I've ever had in any game or any film that I've ever seen. Previously, I would have sort of said Alien Isolation was probably the scariest thing I'd played. Um, Obviously, that's really good in its own regard. You try and hide from the alien, and if it captures you, there's an insta kill, and you lose any progress that you've made. But it's basically the one mechanic that it has that maintains itself throughout the entire game. The thing with Visage is it changes its way of scaring you. So the way the game works is you have a centralized home world, well, it's a home, that's your hub, and branching off from this is basically three different chapters. And each different chapter has not only a different story, but a different horror trope in the way it tries to scare you. So one of them is your classic sort of haunted, scary child. One of them's a woman who's grieving for the loss of her child, and she's gone a bit doolally basically, and the house becomes a bit more of a maze. Rooms change their setup, their time. One door leads to a different place than it did previously, so it becomes a bit confusing. So it's got like the haunted house element to it. And the third one is basically like a psychopath, and it's primarily set within a mental asylum. So as those different ways of approaching the horror element, but the way that works is it's just absolutely brilliant. It's a bit of a slow build, and rightfully so. It gets you involved and invested within the house that you're contained within. So you have a sanity meter, and the sanity meter, when it gets high or low, depending on how you think of it, but when that increases, scary things start to happen. So lights will flicker off and a door will shut, and it's all very subtly done. It doesn't happen constantly, so it'll just shock you out of the blue while you're investigating like this small corner of the room, and it genuinely puts you on edge. It's a very stressful experience. So when the sanity meter gets high, the lights flicker out more often, doors will slam more often, and you'll start to see figures in the dark. And it is genuinely a stressful and scary experience. You honestly are scared to venture around the next corner, to open the next door. I honestly had periods where I had to stop playing. I was getting that sort of worked up playing it, and then I was somewhat reluctant to go back into playing it. I wanted to, but I knew fine well I was going to have a stressful time. One particular sort of jump scare, and it sounds so cliche, but I literally dropped my controller and sort of jumped out my chair a little bit, which, like I said, it sounds cliche, it sounds ridiculous, it sounds like hyperbole or hyperbole, however you pronounce it, but to resort to hyperbole literally makes me throw up in my mouth. So I'm genuinely, being sincere. So yeah, if you like the horror genre, if you like a stressful experience, then Visage is absolutely the game for you. I don't know how it's not spoken about more. If you want a glimpse as to how extreme this game is, how serious it takes itself, just Google the intro. And there is my doorbell. So let's go. Bye for now.